Hello and welcome to Lobijit Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So let's say you have a lot of amorphous materials sitting and you want to farm them, open them up quickly so that you can get to the good stuff inside, like the crystallization, catalyst, blueprints and things like that. Now up until now, for me, Swamp Walker and Gluttony were the two bosses I could not one face like reliably. With this latest dagger and Gley meta, I've noticed that at least as far as Swampwalker is concerned, I'm having no issues one facing him. Gluttony can still occasionally, on a rare occasion, get frenzied. But now we are more or less reliably one facing all of these solo bosses. And so I wanted to share a few tips, especially for Gluttony, on how to get this done. It's the same setup. I'll briefly talk about the build and the uh, things that you need, but I wanted to show you Gluttony in real time and Swampwalker, and then I'll show you the rest of them. Most of them are easy. Occasionally, like 1 in 10 attempts, this guy could get enriched. Here we are in the Gluttony arena. So I've noticed if you do one or two things, you have a better chance of, one phasing him more reliably. So first up, obviously, if you're using Gley, use her first ability, get close to him. And now what I like to do is I like to wait. As soon as his feet touch the ground, I activate my third, and then I shoot not on him but towards the side. I'm building up the stacks for the mental focus, wait for him to finish his scan, then you start shooting him on his weak point, continue doing so, and if all goes well, you will one phase him. Now I've done this about 40 times and he got enraged 3 times. And when he gets enraged, he tends to get enraged very quickly. On the second attempt, he gets enraged as well. Anyway, so you can see here we can kill him very efficiently with this method. So what was I trying to do? So first up, when you activate the third and you start shooting, you are building up the mental focus stacks, and notice you can build them up quite comfortably. And what we are trying to do is activate it again without losing the stacks. So when you start hitting him, you are already doing a lot of damage at the beginning, and that way you can one phase him much more comfortably. The other thing, as you noticed, was I was not shooting at him when he was scanning. So we want to wait for him to finish his scan and then start shooting on his weak point. If you do this more consistently, regularly, you'll get in the habit. And like I said, in about 40 attempts, he only got enraged about 3 times. So he can still get enraged because the number that you want for enraging versus the number that you have for staggering, sometimes they can be much closer, and the enraged number is smaller than the stagger number, so they can get enraged. Anyway, let's check out Swampwalker. Now Swampwalker is another boss that can still get enraged because once again the frenzy and the stagger numbers are in a range that can overlap. But if you aim for the weak points and hit the 3 weak points, the one in the middle, the core and the 2 shoulders, you can still knock him down quickly, and the high fire rate of the dagger will help. We're not building up the stacks like we did with Gluttony. So let's see if we get him down quickly. If you get to this point and you can down him, just try to aim for the weak points and you should be able to get him. See, he was almost about to stand and he would have enraged instantly. Now I've done this about, I would say, 15 to 20 times, and he got enraged once. Sometimes they just get enraged because the stagger number is a little higher than the frenzy number, and so that is a bit random. You can still get him to enrage before he gets staggered. Now if that happens, don't worry, you can shoot his knees. It's not that difficult, but yeah, more often than not, in about 15-20 attempts, once in a while he'll get enraged, but you should be able to one phase him much more consistently now with this setup. Alright, so I just realized I was using the wrong gun. I was using the Void Erosion Purge gun with a lot of chill on it against people like Gluttony and Swampwalker, and we still got them. Anyway, I have the right gun here. So first let's look at the core and the rolls here. I have firearm attack, firearm critical hit damage, weak point damage, and bonus firearm attack versus Colossus. And in the cores, I have firearm attack, 2 firearm attacks, 2 fire rates, firearm critical hit damage. So this is the Colossus build that I'm using. The mods are pretty much the same as the one I've discussed in the Void Erosion Purge. Identical, just use the matching weakness of the element. So if you're going against Swamp Walker, use electric. If you're going against Gluttony, use fire, and things like that. So I have this slot as a sort of flexible slot, and that should be enough for you. As for Gley, again, pretty standard. I've only switched to Battle of Stamina here instead of HP amplification. What's it? Stem accelerant. This is because you get about half a second more on the duration, so that you can shoot a little more, will help you and sometimes make a difference towards the end when you're trying to just finish the boss. Components, again, it's a mix and match. I just make sure to use 2 pieces from Annihilation to get the 5.7% extra duration. With my setup, it's about 0.3 seconds added to the duration. Reactor, you can use anything as long as you have cooldown and duration. You don't even need to have the mounting for the weapon. Just make sure you have cooldown and duration, the best numbers that you can find. I may have some with slightly better. I think I have a electric or something, or a toxic one for Arena, which is slightly better. You can just as easily use this one as well. So if we put this here, see the number. Slightly better is 7.3 instead of 7.4 for the cooldown, so it doesn't make any difference. Duration isn't going to change as such. So where is the yes, that is the components. Reactor, don't forget the inversion, and that is really it. So now what I'll do is I'll leave you with the rest of the solo bosses just for the sake of completion, to show you that you can do that. The others don't really pose a problem. Your main issue is Gluttony and Swamp Walker, and even those guys are only going to get enraged once in a while, like 1 in 10 attempts maybe.